Good evening and welcome to South African of the Year 2016 here on ANN7, the show where we take a look at the reflection and progression of great South Africans doing great things, and of course those South Africans who are making a difference in the country.
Ndifundisa ni Ravel ndi madeko na buda tiko chimla ndi ndo thafano ndi maps masego maponyane kana ufi masego maps maponyane that way around, right? As he said, this is a show where we celebrate South Africans doing awesome things, and now I see it is no different. We're all about celebrating the accomplishments of these amazing South Africans, as well as finding out how did they do it.
Yep, and tonight we take a look at a woman who's been doing some incredible things and has left her mark and has made her mark in the medical field. At
just the age of 31, she is the youngest hospital CEO in the country, looking after a staff team of 767 team members out at the Bertha Gxowa Hospital in Germiston. It's such an honor to have you on the show.
Of course, we have on the show the incredible Mrs. In fact, I have to say Doctor. She works hard for that title. Dr. Nokwethemba Mtshali-Hadebe. Thank you so much for joining us. You're the Youth Leader of the Year nominee. It's a real pleasure to have you on the show.
Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Good
Lovely
doctor.
to meet you.
Let's start off right at the beginning. Why medicine for you, Nokwethemba?
Medicine has always been a passion of mine. I've always liked to be of service to people. And I think I've always liked to heal, and I realize it now that it's because I was supposed to be a healer. Medicine became my chosen field to be a healer.
Being in your field comes with a lot of challenges. Being black and being female comes with even more challenges going into a field like medicine. So what are some of those challenges that you've been through, especially going after that when you started off?
One of them.
There's a lot to tell. And the woman goes,
and then she wants to say, can we have a whole episode on that?
We actually do. I think having gone to Natal, which was fortunate because most of us are black, and you actually realize that actually some people are more blacker than others. And I think even though we are all supposed to be equal, if you walked into a ward as a medical student and you walked with a male student as well, people automatically assume that you're the nurse and that the guy is a doctor. So it's always those stereotypes. It's those things we can't run away from. So it's those subtle things. Well, sometimes they're quite obvious because they'll be like, no, I don't want to be seen by you because I want a real doctor. They'll even say that. I mean, that continued through even internship, where people will say, well, I'm waiting to, you'll see the patient and done and say, this is what we need to do for you. And then they'll say, well, I'm still waiting for a doctor.
Sure.
And you'd be like, but yeah, I just saw you. And I am a doctor. And this is despite the fact that you probably did introduce yourself as a doctor. So those are some of the stereotypes that the challenges.
Being a CEO so young, you're 31, and you're having to have this power and authority over people that are older than you, and especially as abantu abamnyama, it can be a difficult thing that you face, having to tell elder people, yo, you're messing up here. So how do you balance that, finding that balance between being authoritative but still being respectful and having to do your job really?
Well, the first thing is, and I must say that actually I've evolved because I was not always aware of these things. They mattered, but they do. So the first thing is respect. I know that they're older than me and I'm mindful of that, but it's not gonna change the way that when I need something done from them, I interact with them. So I know that I'm in a position of power. I still respect you as a person. I still respect you as an older person, and I expect this, the same, because then you must also know that by virtue of my position, I'm then now senior than you. But it's also with the team that I'm leading. It's also been a relationship building. For the past year, because I started in April last year in an acting capacity, and it's really just to get to know the people, knowing exactly, because I think people want to be seen, and you can see when people realize that they're being seen, and they just give you just that much more, and that much more respect as well.
Well, we wanted to see what a typical day in the life of yours was like, so this is what we ended up getting, and let's take a look.
Wake up, it's a beautiful day. 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 Wake up.
I don't actually have a typical day. I wish I could actually have more structure in my life. It can be anything, but on a quiet day, I'll tell you on a quiet day what happens. On a quiet day, I get into the hospital, I get to my office, do a little bit of admin, you know, if there's any urgent thing that I need to attend to, I do that, and then I set off on my walkabout. I have structured walkabouts and I have unstructured walkabouts. I do mainly the unstructured walkabouts, which is just going to an area, usually the high acuity areas like casualty or maternity, just to see what's been happening. For me, my family is my anchor. And they're my support system. So I know that I need to nurture those relationships very well. But also I know that I can't do everything. I think we put so much pressure on ourselves, particularly as women, that we want to be able to do everything to be superwomen. I don't think it's possible. So where I can, I delegate. I grew up in a large family, so I'm like a little... I'm just one of the kids. And they were all the older people that came. And I think also there you have to, there's a fight for your own space, you know, your own, to be an individual. I think I did medicine because there's a sense of wanting to heal the nation. I actually just believe that humanity, we can be better, and that we should be able to improve and develop and make things better for everyone. Being young, being female, and being black are the things that I've started owning. And I've not always owned those things, in the sense that, yes, I'm aware of it, I don't let it hinder me in any way, but I'm aware of how people perceive it and what are the expectations people have, or the non-expectations that people have of females. And I've said, I'm not going to use it to my disadvantage. I'm going to rather use it to benefit me. I'm actually quite fun-loving. I enjoy spending time with my son and my family. I enjoy spending time with my friends. I don't party as much as I used to party, but we do a little bit, just once in a while. We're not as young as we used to be. But for me, because my day starts as early as I open my eyes sometimes. So I find that I don't have enough time to just switch off. So what I do is that I try and get those quiet moments to just sit and reflect, do nothing, not to have to think about how to fix things. It does happen even when I'm trying to do that, but trying to just center myself, because I also think the relationship with myself is quite important.
Of course, with our guest who is in the Young Person of the Year category, nominee Dr. Nokwethemba Mtshali-Hadebe. You know, gotta get the double barrel right, girl.
Yes, you have to.
Because you're out there for your double barrel.
Yes,
now,
yes.
We've just seen a glimpse into your day. What would you say the best part of your day is?
Best part of my day is getting a compliment from people, knowing, getting that affirmation that we've done well. Because I think we try, and we've got lots of men and women who work very hard. And sometimes because we get so inundated with complaints that we forget we're doing good work in some areas. So just being able to, yes, knowing that we are doing well, but also someone else saying that this has gone right for me. And this goes beyond just the patient outcome, you know, in terms of, yes, I had a cough, now I'm feeling better, but just the overall experience of I was treated well, people were smiling, my condition was explained to me, all of those things that, you know, because I think we take it for granted, the patient journey. It doesn't just start with, it's not just about the illness, it's not just about the physical illness, it's also about the psychological and social elements that we never deal with, particularly in the anatomy textbooks and all of those things when we're dealing with pathology.
The people aspect.
Of course, so you need to know how to work with people, and there's so many aspects that you have to look at because there's so many different departments to consider. But what's your sort of thought right now on the current state of healthcare in the country? Are you quite optimistic and positive about it? Because people always have negative things to say about the public healthcare that there is, you know, sort of have a bit of a negative outcome or outlook on it. What are your thoughts?
I think it's a perception, and we also need to understand what forms perception. That there probably was some experience that people had, and they probably still experience some of these challenges that we're talking about, and that lead people or the public to think that it's all bad. But it's not all bad, but it's not all good either. And it's to say that how do we every single day make sure that we've got more good than the bad? How do we change the perception that people have? And I think it can be done. I think one of the things that I actually particularly found when I got into the institution is that people think, oh, we're doing what we're doing here, and people think we're doing badly, so why must we do any better? And I'm saying, but do better. Because the next person who's going to come in might actually tell you that you're doing well. So acknowledge that. But when you're not doing well as well, you must also be able to say, yes, I acknowledge that. So it's just being able to take the good and the bad. Yeah. And so one of the things that we do is to go to the different areas in the hospital, and we say, this is what we're finding, this is good, this is not so good. How do we correct?
So you're doing the criticism with a compliment, so that the critique doesn't come down so hard. Well, this is such an enlightening conversation, Maps, and I know we want to just go on and get into your studies as well. But first, we're going to let everybody find out how they can vote for you, right, Maps?
We have to go to a break, and if you want to vote for Dr. Mtshali-Hadebe, then of course you go to www.SATY2016.com and cast your vote for her, beg your pardon, for the Youth Leader of the Year category, and she'll be sure to, of course, be very happy about that one. Hopefully you can scoop that one. We'll see what happens.
Look, I find it to be a very easy to work with person. I think one of the good things that qualities she has is to be able to judge situations and take the correct actions.
Her leadership style was such that she was willing to listen. With that openness, she was able to give you a platform to voice your views. And I found her to be very keen to work with you on a strategy that the both of you could come up with a solution that is pleasing, obviously, for the mandate of the hospital.
When I came into the hospital, there were a lot of issues. As we speak, you know, like most government institutions who are sitting with litigations. We are also sitting with litigations from years before she came in. But ever since she has come in, one of the most noticeable things is that staff attitude has changed. Most people are happy with her as the head of the institution. Patients are beginning to show a lot of interest in being part of the hospital, not only as patients, but also in getting involved with other projects that we do.
Zane Vanarnaka NN7 South African of the Year Show 2016. We're counting down, of course, to the big prestigious event happening at the end of November. But today we're sitting down with our Young Leader of the Year nominee, Dr. Nokwethemba Mtshali-Hadebe. Doctor, there is nobody that knows you better than your family. Tell us a little bit about your family life growing up.
Loud. A lot of getting into up to no good. But it was very lovely, actually. We grew up as a lot of us. There was a lot of us, but 8 of us.
Wow.
Yeah, we used to cause problems.
Well, we actually got a chance to chat to your older brother who told us a bit more about what you're like, and this is what he had to say.
Growing up, it was fun. We grew up in a very strict family, a religious family, and I wouldn't say there were a lot of activities of naughtiness or those kind of things. Everything was very strict because you know you'll get a hiding anytime. So there's not much that there's not much that was out of hand or out of control. So she's been a very disciplined child from the young age. She's been very, always been bright, and I think that is what stands out. What we used to enjoy a lot was going to SATY to see our grandparents. Our uncle would come and fetch us, and then the fun on our way to Friday, it was like something else. She has gone down a little bit with the stubbornness. I don't know whether it's because she is interacting with a lot of people at different levels or something like that, but I can remember at the age of 16, 17, she was a bit stubborn, and she used to have this thinking of she used to think that what she knows and what she thinks is what is right. So she used to believe too much. It's very amazing that she has achieved so much at such a young age. So we, on behalf of the family, I would say really we are proud of her. She has actually achieved something that we've never thought is such a good one within the family, a small family of us.
Well, those are some words from your older brother, some really great stories there. Well, what kind of journey did they end up taking? Because were you always the overachiever in the family? Because you have quite a few qualifications under your name.
Yes, I was sort of the overachiever.
In fact, you also have a qualification in your name that you have, which is the end of your first name, MBA.
Yes, actually, so I didn't really need an MBA anymore.
For everybody, it's the Bachelor of Medicine, the Bachelor of Surgery, and then an MBA. Like, she's not just a pretty face sitting here, she's got brains as well.
Nokwethemba. There we go.
Being an overachiever to your siblings?
I think I was an overachiever. And I think it just came... Shame my poor siblings. I was always the goody two shoes as well. I'm the one who would probably scold people. My younger brother calls me an auxiliary parent.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He used to actually, the recent one, he coined it as auxiliary. I used to be a deputy parent for a very long time. So he's like, yeah, no. So he was telling his parents that, no, he's okay in Pretoria, because he came to Pretoria and I was in Pretoria at the time. He's like, no, I'm fine. Everything is going well. And it helps that Tot is here and she's taking care of things. And I'm thinking, is that what people think of me? This is my very own siblings are such sellouts. But yeah, I think I'm that person who would be the one that's saying, no, this is how you do it. No, this is not how you do it. Because I just hated being scolded. I hated it. I just hated it. So I just did what my parents wanted me to do most of the time.
You know, the road to success and the journey to success is not often a smooth one. You know, it's filled with many ups and downs. Take us back to a moment where you thought to yourself, Yazin, like I'm out, I'm tapping out. What was that moment and what got you through?
That moment where I thought I tapped out for real from clinical medicine. At the time, I was feeling quite frustrated about, and it wasn't like an obvious thing. I just think back about it now, where I was thinking, all these things that are, because I like doing what I was doing, and I was saying, but why do I have so many obstacles in trying to do what I'm doing? Why can't we have things working a bit better? Have the correct equipment, have the correct gloves, have things working properly, so that all I need to be worried about is how to, my clinical skill and making sure that the patient is okay, and all of those things. So I knew at that time that I wanted to be able to influence health from the other side, which is the operational side, administrative side. But and how it came through is the tapping out, is that, and I saw it as an opportunity for me to also learn when I got asked to join a company which was it wasn't clinical medicine, it was health related, but it wasn't clinical medicine. And I sort of thought, this is a good opportunity for me to grow. Although at the back of my mind, I always knew I was going to go back into the public health system. But that was the moment for me. And when I came back, I feel that I was more ready. I was more able to deal with the challenges, because then I came back as a clinical manager, and it was saying, yes, I can make a difference. So at least I knew very early on that these are the things that will frustrate me in the clinical setting. So I tapped out, in a sense, out of clinical medicine. But I think I'm still within health. So for me, it's not totally being out.
Wow, that's just inspiring. Like, sometimes your journey is not always going to work out the way you want it to work out, but what you did, instead of quitting completely, is just rerouting. And sometimes you just need to step away from it so that you can see which way you're trying to go. So thank you so much for sharing that. Really awesome. I'm sure you're wondering how you can vote for Dr. Nokwethemba, and how do they do that?
All you need to do is go to www.saty2016.com. That's www.saty2016.com to vote for Nokwethemba, Dr. Nokwethemba Mtshali-Hadebe.
That's doctor to you.
as a youth leader of the year. We'll be back right after this.
She is my mentor. She is my coach. Over and above, she is my leader. I'm reporting directly to her as the CEO, as I'm the head of nursing. But the way that we relate, she is in a position to make a person, to make the workplace become easier for you to achieve the goals of the organization. As the head of institution, whenever there are engagement, she gives an opportunity for a person basically to lead. Working with her, she was in a position to assist me basically with the vision that I had, of changing the communities to see it happening. She's a person who's very calm. Even if you come with a situation that is overwhelming, she makes you, to be at ease and be in a position basically to put things into perspective. Being a listener, being a person who's solution-oriented, she's able basically to assist you, not giving you the solutions, but to assist you to enhance that the solutions are implemented and for us to look at the outcome.
Welcome back, Nishano Dranarnafanoni, South African of the Year 2016. Of course, counting down to the prestigious event happening in November. We are chilling out with our Youth Leader of the Year nominee, Dr. Nokwethemba Mtshali-Hadebe.
An event, of course, that if you go into the website and vote for your favorite nominees, you can get a VIP experience, and that's if you make sure that you put in those votes so you can make sure that you possibly win that prize.
Kahle nje. Doctor, but it's the South African of the Year award, so how much of South Africa do you know? Have you got your general knowledge on lock? She's not sure. We're going to go straight anyway.
We'll see how it goes.
That's first question.
I'm going to ease us off a little bit, something that you'll be perfectly fine with.
Ease us off.
Okay. What is the full acronym or the full words for the acronym Soweto?
South African Southwestern Townships.
She's got this. She's got this. Okay, in Proudly South African, celebrating young people, another young person who's just blown up on the scene. Who is the artist behind the hit track Wololo?
Gotta
know this.
That's trivia already.
She must be a well-rounded South African.
Okay. Well, I guess we're going to go from that to something completely extreme. What is the national bird of South Africa?
Woo. Is it the eagle? No.
You're sitting on the color.
Blue crane.
There we go.
Yes.
All right,
Thank you, ma'am.
Staying in line with things that make us proud to be South African and our national symbols. What is the national fish? Yeah, you didn't know that we had a national fish?
No.
We got a national fish, girl. Come on.
No, I didn't know. I don't know.
It's the
I'm out.
Gauteng.
It's a who?
A Gauteng.
No idea.
See, Doctor, you learned something new today.
Thank you very much.
Last one.
What prestigious award did the movie Tsotsi win?
Ooh, that was so long ago.
The biggest movie one.
Was 1995?
The biggest movie award you can win overseas.
Oh, jeez. Oscar?
There we go. You got this.
Took a guess, but you got it. 4 out of 5. Not bad, Doctor. Thank you so much. You did great.
The fish thing counts.
Yes, it's a trivia question. But here's a question that's not to trick you, but just from your side, what is your parting shot or your words of wisdom to other young South Africans who are looking up to you and just wanting to follow in the footsteps of an extraordinary young person doing great things for themselves?
Okay. Firstly, find your passion. Find that one thing that you're truly passionate about. And I think parents need to be a bit more flexible on this one because, we're not always going to be aspiring to be doctors, to be lawyers, or, those professions that parents want children to go into. So it's just that one thing that makes you come alive, that makes you wake up every single day and in the morning. For young women, I think find a mentor. Very important. Very difficult to navigate the world without that guidance, without someone who's actually walked that path. So find a mentor.
Wow.
I think that's a very important point because if you look at the rest of the world, you go anywhere else and you have conversations with people and they say, well, I was talking to my mentor, but a lot of the time here, it's not really a thing at all. And mentorship is very, very important. Thank you so much for joining us on the show. Thank you for being an incredible inspiration and example to many young South Africans out there, especially young female South Africans. You are doing a phenomenal job and we've had a wonderful time speaking to you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We wish you all the best with the nominations, of course, and everybody voting for you. And we will see you on the 25th at the big event. Thank you so much for watching South African of the Year 2016.
Nah.